Hello there. These are the Velites by Esgeist Miniatures 3D printed figures. Come from France and they are all done. I've got 8 of them. It's the first batch of 4. If you've seen my previous video, I've talked a little bit about them. The wolf cloaks are a little bit on the simple side in terms of their patterning, but I think they've come up pretty well. I've obviously done a variety of different shades for them. Other things about them, a number have the Thurio sort of shields, which is unusual for Velites, so I've changed a few of them around, such as taking the one off this one and giving him some different spears, taking the one off that one and giving him that horn. I think they've come up quite nicely. Let's get the next batch of 4 on and I'll give you a look at them. Now this is probably, or is my favourite of the lot, although I have changed him as well. He also had a scutum. I've removed that and I've given him a shield. Actually it's from Agema, and he is the only one with a different face to all the others. So 7 out of 8 have exactly the same face. I've changed them up a little bit by painting some hair on some of them and slightly different skin colorations and so on with shades, but essentially they're all the same, fairly basic face. He's got a mouth that's open, which is nice, so sort of yelling out. The dynamic aspect of these is the best, I think, the best feature. They're super dynamic, very realistic, all running forwards, charging, throwing, in action, and that's a great thing about them. One or two were the poses were a little bit tricky to get to paint. So, for example, this guy at the back now, I did take his arm off and painted his face separately because the shield was actually right up in front of his face. And when I put it back on, I've angled it slightly more downwards than it was originally intended to be. So overall, I'm pretty happy with them. They're very nice Velites on the relatively simple side. I'll just grab a couple of others just to show in comparison. Right, let's do a few comparisons. So this guy and this guy, I think, are brothers. They are awesome. That one's from Agema, and he's a metal Velites. I think he's probably my favourite of all my Velites. I've done a similar colour scheme, obviously, with the shields on them. Then let's get a few others. So another active one, that's a Agema again. I've been right into the Agema guys recently, and there's another modified Agema. And then, whilst not strictly a Velites, this is a Greek skirmisher by WIP Miniatures. So let's put him up next to that. So you can see the scales are excellent. They go very well with Agema and with WIP, and also with Victrix, which are all about the same scale. What else to say about these guys? They're pretty cool, and as I say, the dynamism is the best thing. I did quite similar shields there. You can see the difference in the cloaks though between those two guys. I've got one more to show before I leave the Esgeist Miniatures for the time being, and that is the first of the cavalry that I have produced. This is the Numidian commander on horse, and there he is. I'm pretty happy with him. The painting of the horse I'm not totally happy with. The musculature, as I mentioned, wasn't quite as well defined as some other horses, so it's a little bit hard to paint in that regard, but did my best. The sort of usual washes and dry brushing and stuff didn't work so brilliantly, but it's come up quite well. I think the commander is the highlight of it. He's a legendary guy with great expression, and I like how he's grabbing onto the horse's mane. Yeah, he's just full of character. His shield's a beauty, strapped to his back with a nice strap, which I've done with zebra skin strapping. So I'm pretty happy with him, and I'm looking forward to doing the other couple of cavalry commanders that I'm going to do, the Carthaginians, and then I've also started on the elephant, so all of that will be coming up in the not too distant future. So if you don't want to miss out, you know what to do: like, subscribe and all that. If you were interested in getting some of these, there were some discount codes on the previous video regarding Esgeist Miniatures, so have a look at that. See ya.